Practicing.
Cut some laps, babe.
It's honestly so smooth.
It is very smooth.
That's my mum brain.
3, 2, 1.
So, we can't clap because we have a sleeping baby. We have had our beautiful baby girl, which is so exciting. And we had every intention of filming this video before she came, but
It just didn't happen.
life happened.
Well, I think it's interesting because we got to 40 weeks and we're like, no, nothing's happening. I reckon we're going to be like 42. And I think maybe a lot of mums have this where maybe every mum thinks like they're going to be the one that takes forever to come. And we got to 40 days and 40 weeks and 4 days. Out of nowhere, she started coming, which is a whole other story.
And we will share our whole birth story on my podcast, but today is a recap of week 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40, up until 40 plus 4. So we are going to share the whole birth story on my podcast very, very soon, which is really exciting. But today, in this video, this is a recap of week 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, up until 40 plus 4 days, which is when she was born. So we've got so much we want to share with you, and I've got a whole bunch of notes, and let's dive in.
Okay.
So week 36, I was officially on maternity leave, which was really exciting to create some space. And I did a lot in my business to kind of get to that place. I did a backlog of podcasts. I prepped my team, which was really nice to have those weeks leading up to birth a bit more free. And so I did lots of meditating, lots of time at the beach. It was really beautiful. However, around this time, I got this sacroiliac joint pain. So I was doing a lot of body work. I was seeing a guy called Rodney who really helped me with that pain. And then that lasted for about 3 weeks. And then she must have dropped a little bit further, and that pain literally went like overnight, which was amazing.
Yeah, it was. You were in a lot of pain.
Oh.
You couldn't walk.
Well, I was like hobbling along, wasn't I?
You could walk, yeah, but it was very painful.
Also, during week 36 and 37, Nick went to Sydney, which my midwives were not too happy about because they have had a record of women coming at 37 weeks.
Just recently.
Recently. And so they were really nervous about Nick going away, but it's all good because she didn't come on those weeks, did she?
It was kind of good because I had 2 more weeks in Sydney with my son Leo. It's kind of like our last little hurrah together as bachelors in Sydney. So we had a great time, just watched heaps of Netflix. It rained for 2 weeks and I got to finish my 30-day juice fast. So I'll do a little screenshot of what I used to look like. And now this is me. So I've literally put on like 10 kilos since she was born. And we'll talk about that because that will be in the podcast, because we'll speak about the meal train that we did and the amazing food we had. But it just meant that I got to go and do some stuff for me before she came. Like I got all this personal development stuff out of the way. And I came back and I was just totally ready to be here for Melissa.
Yeah, which is so nice, and beautiful baby girl. I also just wanted to slot this in. I am so glad that you guys are loving these videos. I get so many DMs and emails and people stopping me in the street telling me how much they love and how much these videos have helped them. So this is actually the last one of this series, of our pregnancy series, and who knows, we might do something else down the track, but this is the last one, and I'm so glad that it's really helped a lot of people.
We always talked about doing some sort of show, like a TV show together. The challenge is we tend to bicker on camera a little bit.
Before we start rolling.
Behind the scenes, we get frustrated, so we've kind of not quite committed to it. But one day I think we will do something really cool.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because we've been walking along even just the beach here, and we've met a few pregnant women who have either slightly ahead or slightly behind us, and they've been implementing a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about. So it's been really nice to see that feedback.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a whole bunch of notes here, guys, so I'm just going to refer to my notes. Let's jump to week 37. I was doing heaps of body work. I was continuing my massage, my osteo, my chiro, all the body work that I was doing, acupuncture, all of that, just to really prime my body for the birth, which is really important. This week I also continued my breath work, which was really amazing, and I'm so glad I did that all through my pregnancy right up until birth, and then used some of those techniques in labour, which was really beautiful. And I wanted to recommend a book, Children of Tomorrow. I read that book this week, which was really beautiful. It's a really beautiful parenting book. We'll link below to that book. Definitely get it. It's so good. This week we also started the perineal massage, which
is important.
Is very, very important. And you'll know why when we share our birth story.
It is so wild. Wild.
The birth story or the perineal massage?
Both.
But I cannot recommend the perineal massage more highly to every single person. So you can actually learn how to do this just online. You can get books and things like that. But we actually went to a women's physio, and Nick came in and she taught Nick how to do it, which is really, really important because you want to make sure you're doing it correctly. And you don't need your partner to do it. You can actually do it yourself if you want to do it yourself, but we wanted Nick to do it. And it was really beautiful.
Pretty hard to do it yourself properly, I'd say. Because we got to points where, because the thing with perineal massage is that there's essentially two, what are they called, the muscles? Two pelvic floor muscles that are in different sort of angles, almost like ribbons or tubes almost. And you don't want to be pulling them the wrong way because you can actually have the opposite effect. It is good to know what you're doing. So I remember even like the day before she was born or 2 days before she was born, I think it was the day before she was born, we were doing it, and the first one that you start with is just 2 fingers straight in. Melissa's lying on her back, and you just literally just pressing straight down like that. And I was going down, and Melissa's like, how am I going? How far is it? I'm like, yeah, look, a bit further to go, a bit further.
And I said, tell me when we've reached where we got to yesterday, because I wanted to kind of know if we were progressing and how much further we were progressing.
And so I'd be like, yeah, not quite there yet, but I was already way past it. And so I was kind of tricking her. And I literally had my body weight pushing down, and literally like her vagina was like stretching to me.
Oh, it was not.
It was huge.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because your perineum can just go so far down.
The perineum is amazing. And it does, like when you do this massaging, you obviously wash your hands and you get some coconut oil. It's just so important for labour. Really, really important. And you'll know why when we share the video. And
we chose that over doing the epino. We just felt like there could be some emotional stuff that comes along with epino potentially, where a woman might not get to 10 centimetres and then it might freak them out before the birth. So we just decided to do perineal massage, and we're really glad we did because she had no problems with her perineum, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's so important. So I highly recommend doing that. Also, this week was when the midwives came and dropped off the pool, which was really exciting. So we have all of the equipment ready to go, which is awesome. All just sitting there.
And make sure you do a practice run.
Yes.
Because I think we were just like, I'll get to it, later. I think we got to about 40 weeks.
We set it up on 40 weeks.
We set it up at 40 weeks, and I was like, the tap attachment doesn't work. So I had to go to Bunnings and this plumbing place, and I had to like MacGyver this contraption to make it attached to our tap. Just be mindful of that. Don't leave it to the last minute like we almost did.
Yes, yeah. And blow it up a few days before, your guest date, just so it's all prepared and ready to go. But that was really exciting. We blew that up, and that was just sitting there. It was awesome to have that. It made the whole thing feel more real.
I was going to say, you don't have to do a test run with water because that's just a pain in the butt to get out, trust me. But at least attach the hose and make sure it actually connects. That's all you have to do. Blow it up, attach the hose, because once you fill that thing up, it's a pain in the butt to get the water out.
And please make sure you're using clean filtered water. So important. And this is something that not many people think about. So we obviously have the hydrogen health, and I'll link below to that, and you can get a nice discount with my code Melissa. And we had all of that beautiful water in the bath, which is so nice. You do not want fluorine. That's my mum brain.
Fluoride, chlorine. I can't even speak either.
You do not want that in the pool with you. So make sure you've got clean filtered water and nothing else in the pool with you.
I was going to say, by the way, in case you don't know, this is Bambi Broadhurst.
This is our daughter.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
We've been waiting almost 8 years to say her name, because we've had it for 8 years and never, or 7.5 years, never actually spoke it out loud because we were keeping it secret.
Yeah.
And finally we get to share it, which is super fun.
So nice. When we first met, we knew we were going to have a girl first, and we had her name straight away. So we have known for a really long time, and it's beautiful that she's here and we get to say her name. It's so cute. Okay, let's move to 38 weeks. So in 38 weeks, we had one of our friends, Cara, come over, who is a pranic healer and kinesiologist. And she did like a alignment on me. She tuned into Bambi and just made sure that there was nothing that Bambi needed or wanted. And then she did an energy clearing on our whole house. So it was really beautiful. She actually, I told her where I was going to put the pool, and she said, no, it needs to go there. And there was just little things like that. She tuned into Bambi, and Bambi was, giving her the all clear, I'm ready to come, and there's nothing I need. And there was one little fear that came up for me that we cleared as well. So it was really nice to have Cara come to the house and do that work on me, Bambi, and on the whole house. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was really beautiful. I also had my second bodywork session with my midwife this week, and that was, I've already spoken about the bodywork that I did on the first session in this video, and so I had my second session with her this week, and it was really powerful. Again, it's such important work, and I kind of went into it going, I don't know, I don't think anything's going to come up. Like, I felt really clear and in alignment, and then this that comes up, you're just like, where did that come from?
When you say body work, be specific.
Oh, so this was the vaginal yoni. It's kind of like yoni mapping.
Dearmoring.
Or dearmoring, often it's called, where it was like a 2.5 hour session with my midwife where she does lots of dearmoring and yoni mapping, and different emotions come up, and we do talk therapy through it. So it's really powerful stuff, and I highly, highly recommend before you give birth that you do this work and you look at it, because we store as women so much emotion in our yoni and trauma and in our womb space. And so if we clear that before we give birth, there's just more of a chance that that stuff won't come up during labor. So I highly recommend it. And it's always good to just clear out and get more in alignment. So definitely look into doing some yoni mapping or dearmoring with someone who's qualified.
I was going to say, that's the thing, like, it's not a super common thing. So you need to find someone who you feel really comfortable with and who's qualified to do it.
Or do it yourself, do it with your partner.
Yeah.
I talk about it in Open Wide, and you can get so many other books on it. So you could do it with your partner or do it yourself. And yeah, just dive deep into it, because we do store so much in that area, and it's really great when you can release it, let go of any of that energy that's blocked there. This week I also went and got all of my waxing done. I know that might be too much information, but I really want to feel like a goddess when I'm birthing. And I have, Hello, little monkey. I want to, get all my waxing done, and I went and got an organic facial this week and a manicure and a pedicure, and, getting ready for birth. I'm going to shave my legs, exfoliate my skin, and just feel really sexy and goddessy, because I think that giving birth is such a primal warrioress, goddess thing, and you've got to do whatever you need to do to help you feel like that. So for me, I wore a beautiful, which you'll hear about in the birth story, I wore a beautiful black lace bra, which made me feel really sexy and really goddessy. So, maybe you want to wear a necklace or something, a shawl or something, I don't know, but whatever makes you feel really powerful, really sexy, really goddessy, do that. And, get your hair done or whatever you want to do, just help yourself so that you can kind of go into your birth feeling like the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think.
Did you get your hair done and a manicure and pedicure?
No, I was just emaciated after a juice fast. I was still a warrior though.
You definitely are a warrior.
Speak for myself.
This week I've also noticed that I was a bit more swollen in my ankles and my face. And who was it that told us about the lips? What did she say? She said that when it's getting
like
closer.
A few days before, it looks like you've had a lip job. Lip job?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Had your lips done?
Had your lips done because, you do kind of leading up to birth, you get a bit more swollen, and my lips definitely this week were a bit more puffy, weren't they?
They were. I have to just get off my ankles because I'm in agony. This is baby life, right?
The last thing that we did this week was we went and saw our beautiful friend Steph, who is a Vedic meditation teacher, and we got our baby mantra for baby girl. Do you want to tell them about this?
Yeah, so basically it's a Vedic mantra which you whisper in the baby's right ear 3 times when they come out. And basically you never say it ever again. So literally just say it 3 times and that's it. So again, in our podcast episode we're about to do, you'll hear about that. It was kind of tricky. I had to try and squeeze it in, but I got it in because the birth was very fascinating.
And we are Vedic meditators and we love the Vedic philosophy. And basically what this mantra does is it kind of tells the baby that they have been born into a Vedic household. And all of that wisdom and those principles are going to be imparted on them. So it's a really beautiful little thing to do. Yeah. So we did that this week. And then let's move on to week 39. So we're getting so close. It's so exciting. We actually set up the pool 39 weeks and 6 days. So just before 40 weeks. So this week, Nick gave me beautiful daily massage. Every day I got Abhyanga, which was so nice. We have a massage table, so every single morning he was massaging my body and it just was so beautiful, really, really beautiful. This week I also printed out our birth plan. I printed out some notes for Nick, which I think you read once. You read them once, didn't you? Before?
Yeah, I read them in us, and again before.
When we were in early labour? Did you read them?
Yeah, I skimmed them again.
Yeah, so I basically printed off some tips and tricks for Nick, like things to say to me, things to do.
Things to not say.
Things to not... No, I didn't say that.
Did you?
No, there was no... It was just like more things to say. You knew.
I knew what not to say.
Yeah. So he kind of had that. I printed off our birth plan. I also printed off a sign for our front door that said, Mama, currently in labour, because we didn't know what day we were going to go into labour. And we didn't want, the postman knocking on the door or, a neighbour coming and knocking on the door mid-birth. So I printed off a sign that just said, Mama's in labour, please text Nick if you need, and leave anything at the door. So I also did that and put that on the door.
I think as well that's good for you because what you don't want during a birth is if someone does knock, then it takes the mum out of the moment. It's like, oh, who is that? So if you can just sort of control that, it's just one less distraction.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just set yourself up. You don't want anyone just coming and knocking or ringing your doorbell mid-contraction. Just might take you out of the moment when you're really focused and in the moment. This week we also set up our pram. We got a beautiful Bugaboo Fox pram. I'll link to it below. And we set up the car seat, which is also a Bugaboo, which we really love. And
Capsule.
we're so excited to use those when she's here. Well, we have used them now, haven't we? A few times, and she loves it. So we set that up. Some people do that weeks ago, but we just felt to do it at 39 weeks. And another thing that I've also been doing this week a lot is having daily Epsom salt baths, just to really, again, get my body ready, to prime it for the marathon that it's about to embark on, because birth is a marathon.
Yes, it is.
Definitely. And then that leads us to week 40. So she arrived at 40 and 4 days. And the last 4 days, we spent a lot of time at the beach, soaking up the sun. It was actually my birthday. She was due on my birthday. That was her due date, or what we call the guest date. And she came a few days after that, which was really beautiful. And yeah, it was so nice. The last couple of days, we were just soaking it up and soaking up time together.
Yeah, we
sleep.
were down the beach with some friends the day before, and we were walking back up to our house, and Melissa was like, "Ooh, everything feels tight."
No, I like
Or
pressure. Did I say pressure?
Pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. You're like, this is different.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're gonna have some different sensations around this time. Didn't realise that was really the very, very, very early stages of labour. And
Or Braxton Hicks.
yeah.
We don't really know.
Don't even know really. But basically it all started at midnight that night. So
Yeah.
you just never know when it's gonna happen, and when it does, it's kinda like, oh, okay, we're doing it.
It's so exciting.
Such a mystery.
Yeah, so exciting. It's the best experience ever. And this week as well, I also had Carly from Wild Grace Healing come over and give me some more body work, which was just so beautiful. I cannot stress that enough. During my whole pregnancy, I did a lot of body work. And you don't have to go out and do all of the things I did. You can get your partner to give you massages, or you can massage yourself, or you can do some foam rolling, or anything, stretching. But I cannot stress that enough, how important it is to do the body work. Epsom salt baths you can do at home as well. So I really want to encourage you guys to take care of your temple. Just embrace it, dive deep into it, because it really does make such a difference. And then she came, which we're so excited and can't wait to share the story with you.
I was just going to add to it as well that one thing we did when the pool was delivered was we went around the house with our midwife, and we looked at spots where Melissa could do certain things. Did we use many of those? Not really. We and here's the thing about birth, right? You can have all the tools, all the beautiful altars, the music, the essential oils, you can do all that. It's awesome. But honestly, like for us personally, all we needed was us. Some coconut water.
Some dates.
That's all.
Some bananas.
And it actually is one of the times in life where you need the least, which is really interesting. I think that's a good point, because we've been talking a lot on this journey about all the things you can do, and I think it's really important to do all the prep work. But when it comes, it's just purely about presence, and nothing else matters. I'm not saying don't have an altar, or don't do essential oils, or don't have your hypnobirthing, or whatever you're doing. But it is the most divine gift of presence you'll ever get. And we're actually roaring to go again. Like, we had so much fun. And we were so obsessed with this little cherub. We just want another one, but we're going to wait a few years, because breastfeeding and all those sorts of things come into play. But, just to show you that it's not, oh my God, newborn, no sleep. you know, traumatic birth, all this sort of stuff. And I understand that these things can happen sometimes to some people. But I also want to say that it can also be freaking ridiculously amazing, inspiring. But it is, you know, it's challenging. We found it challenging for sure. Like, we've had to navigate all sorts of things in the first couple of months with Bambi.
Stretching. I like to use the word
Yeah.
stretching.
And that's part of polarity, right? Because if you get this divine little bundle of joy, bliss, love, what's the polarity of that? There's going to be some challenge, right? So you just embrace it and enjoy the ride. We've had so much fun, and it's brought us so much closer.
Yeah, we've had a ball, and yeah, I've loved every moment of it. And like Nick said, do all of the prep work and then you just let it go and just be in the moment. That is like the best thing that you can do once your labor kicks off. Just be totally in the moment. You kind of are forced to anyway.
You are forced to. Yeah, so anyway, it's been an amazing 40 weeks sharing this journey with you. And we're going to link below to the podcast episode where we share the entire birth story. And make sure you tune into that, because it was just the most insanely beautiful, wild ride. And unexpected as well. There's some mystery in there. Check it out.
Thank you so much for coming along this journey with us. We've absolutely loved sharing all of our little tips and tricks with you and what's worked for us. And I can't wait for her to watch this one day and hear about our journey whilst she was in the womb. So thank you for being here. Please give us a thumbs up, like this, and leave us a comment. And maybe let us know what you want us to do a vlog on next. Maybe parenting. Conscious parenting? No.
The world is our oyster.
Thank you so much, guys. Sending lots of love.